Hi, this is Dusty Raines, and I am at the Amarillo Veterans Hospital, and it is July the 4th, Independence Day, and I'm at an living history exhibit of the 82nd Airborne. And who am I talking with?
My name is First Sergeant Gabriel Dominguez with the 82nd Airborne.
All right. Can you tell us something about what you fellows do in the community?
What we basically do is we're here to educate not only the youth, but also normal civilians on what it was like from all the way back from the American Indian War all the way to now to our wars in Afghanistan. What it's like for a soldier to go through, World War II, World War I, Vietnam, Korea, and all that. And we just basically our job is to tell that story for those veterans that have passed, and their story can't be told.
It is significant that this group is named after the 82nd Airborne, and can you talk about the significance of that?
So the reason why we picked the 82nd Airborne was the 82nd actually during World War I was a first off in infantry. They had one Medal of Honor winner, which was Sergeant York, which is known for the movie Sergeant York. And during World War II, they moved from infantry to airborne. The reason why we picked 82nd Airborne is because we wanted to keep it tied in with D-Day. And so most people out there, they do 101st or they do 36th Infantry or the 1st Division. So we decided we're going to go with Airborne, and we picked the 82nd 505th because they did the most jumps. They jumped in Italy, they jumped in Normandy, they jumped at Market Garden and all that. And they were there at the Battle of the Bulge, so we kind of stuck up with the 82nd Airborne. Okay.
I noticed there were quite a number of artifacts on display here.
Yes, sir.
Got some a field uniform, I presume.
Yeah, this is a Vietnam field uniform. This was the Special Forces Green Berets. We have recently branched off into the Special Forces with the Green Berets in a reenactment, and we're lucky to have some ex-5th Special Forces Green Berets from Vietnam here to kind of help us. But this is kind of like their greens, what they wore early. And then they started kind of going off into different uniforms. We also have a rucksack that they would have worn, which is this right here, when they were out on patrol, and then another set of gear. We also have a first cav, Sergeant Major. This was given to us for display use only, and all of the medals and ribbons and all that was actually this guy, Brady. This was his uniform. We haven't taken anything off, and we won't take anything off of that uniform. But those are all of his awards he ever wore and all that during Vietnam. We actually have this right here is a piece of a pineapple grenade from one of the grenade rounds, practice rounds and all that. So we went out there and picked that up a long time ago. We have what the boxes would have looked like during World War II. For Milky Way, Butterfinger, Hershey's, and all that. We have a copy of the paper, December 7th, 1941. This was when we were bombed in Pearl Harbor. But they have that. We have some actual actual MREs from Vietnam. They're still there. They're still in the box and all that. We're just hoping they don't explode.
Oh my.
We have some K rations and C rations from World War II. Some of them are repopped. Of course, all of them actually are repopped, but that gives us a look. In here, in this display, we have the cigarettes, what they would have looked like, the Lucky Stripes, the Hershey bar, the batteries, glasses, charms, different books, dominoes, checkers, and all that kind of basic stuff that a GI would have had during World War II. We have a steel pot helmet during World War II. This is an actual World War II one with the liner of an Airborne. This is actually my helmet, so I'm a non-commissioned officer. So I have the non-commissioned officer stripe. I have our first aid pouch on it. This is actually a glow-in-the-dark piece that the Airborne guys wore when they jumped on D-Day. And at night, it actually does glow. We have communications desk kind of set up. That's the lieutenant's helmet, our captain's helmet. This is an M1 Grand Belt for World War II with the musette bag and the canteen and all that. That's what someone carrying an M1 Grand would have wore. We actually have the ranks from World War II, all the way from private, first class, all the way to colonel. Basically, those are the steps of the ranks that they would go. And most people don't understand the T, and the T basically means like a tech sergeant or tech corporal. Basically, what that meant was you were eligible for a pay raise, but you weren't eligible for a grade rank. So they would give you that T so you can get that raise instead of that next rank.
I see.
We have some money here from some of the different Italy, France, and all that was during World War II. We have cleaning kit, shaving kit, all that stuff during World War II. Of course, we have a World War II, kind of glove and all that. Over here, we have the two different style pup tents. We have the early 1940s pup tent with the open face, and we have one over here with a closed pup tent, which was dated later in the war and all that.
All right, and I see that you've got a very large tent back here.
Yeah, that is a 45 command post tent, and that's what command posts would have had and all that during World War II. If we actually walk inside there.
All right.
If we walk inside here, this is actually kind of what it would have looked like for a command post. I mean, they would have they would have some more set up and all that, but you got your typewriter here, so you can type messages and all that, to be able to get messages and all that. And this is where they would be viewing maps and everything else and following their paperwork and all that. Most of the guys, you would hear them like on the Pacific, the series of Pacific. Robert Lackey, that he was told he was given a flashbang and said, if we get overrun, burn the tent. And basically what they would do is they would throw the paper in the middle, all the paper in the middle, and that flashbang, they would throw that flashbang on it, and basically that flashbang would blow up on the papers, burn the papers, and burn the tent down to the ground if they got overran. So that way no classified evidence or anything else would go out. Yeah. We have a no-holds World War II 1940s record player here, and it actually does work. Our captain knows how to wind it up and all that. He's the one that does it.
What kind of batteries does it take?
It's just kind of a wind-up. I really don't know. He's the one that really kind of knows. So we're still kind of getting set up a little bit. We've got a drop panel out there on the side that we're going to actually display here in a second to make it look like we had a drop coming in for supplies and everything else.
I see.
So basically, that was a signal during World War II saying, "Hey, this is the drop, for supplies and all that."
Okay.
Yeah. So. That's how they would signal the airplane that you're in the right spot to drop.
All right, great. I noticed that there were some out here in uniforms.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the uniforms they might be wearing? Let's get them over here in the sunlight where they will show up well.
You want to stand? All right, so we got Civil War here. Mark, go ahead and explain your uniform.
Yes, this is a Civil War and Indian War type artillery uniform. These men would be firing anything from a small howitzer to field guns. They didn't carry very much. They carried a lot of it on their supply trains, and that's about it.
All right, okay. This is Captain Kuhn here, and he's actually doing Spanish-American War.
This is what the Rough Riders wore in Cuba. The pants were canvas. They wore the blue wool shirt and the 1870s prairie belt. They also carried a haversack and a canteen. Plus, they carried a 30-40 Craig rifle.
All right.
This is Private Cato. He's actually decorated out in a World War II Airborne jump uniform, just like mine. Basically, what they wore was their jump jacket, jump pants, Cochrane jump boots, and sometimes they had a wool shirt underneath and wool pants underneath. But with it being so hot, we didn't wear it. They had a 48-star flag on the right side that they wore, and then of course their garrison cap. And then this is their parachute cap. This is actually early World War II. Later on, you would see the ones with the glider in the middle. That was later World War II. We have Private Cato too. He's decked out in Vietnam. This is known as the pickle suit. The pickle suit was early Vietnam. They started going kind of toward the green slant pockets and everything else. Later Vietnam. The difference on the boots, as you can tell, the first Cato here is wearing the brown jump boots, where now the second Cato is wearing the black jump boots. So they were basically same brand, same boot, just different color. He's got air defense artillery on this side. He's a specialist, but that's basically one of the sets of Vietnam that they had. Then we have Private Snafu and Private Sugar over here. They're decked out into the modern day, what they would look like nowadays, fighting over in Afghanistan and everything else. With some of the other critiques and all that, they're still trying to put that uniform together right now. But this is basically what they would wear overseas on fighting the terrorists and everything else.
All right, and I understand that your chapter has regular meetings. Is that correct?
We have
for
meetings.
Anyone who's interested?
We have meetings for anybody that's interested. We have meetings every second Tuesday. Oh, is this? Oh, no, excuse me. First Tuesday or second? First. It's the first Tuesday. Sorry about that. First Tuesday, and we're now meeting at the Applebee's right off of the boulevard. And our meetings start at like 7 o'clock. And they're open to the public, open for everybody to come check us out and get to know us, and open to anybody that wants to join to help us teach this history to our youth and to everybody else out there.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.